Hello, fellow human! Welcome back to another Dank Doggo rSlash entitled Parents. We have 3 stories in total for you guys today. The first story is posted by wSlash WTFDNDDM with the title of Entitled On Demands My Consoles for My Cousin. This is the second experience I've had in my 26 years of life, and I'm hoping it will be the last. Doubtful. I have a glass case at home. It has all of my old consoles and lots of retro ones I bought through the years, as well as their games. It's my pride and joy, and sometimes I will take them out and play on them. My cousin, 11 years old male, thinks they are cool and likes to admire them when he used to come over. He knew not to touch them. Well, my aunt, the definition of Karen, calls and asks what I'm going to give him for his birthday. Keep in mind that I hadn't received a gift from her since like I was 5. Yet she insists I need to give her child a gift. Usually I just toss him a couple of bucks. When I told her I hadn't thought about it, I knew I messed up. Well, how about we do a joint present? He really loves those games you keep in the case and he's so bored since this silly flu started going around. Surely you can have him have one. I told her, no, they're not for sale. I wasn't asking you to buy them. You would seriously charge family for something you don't use? I don't know, you're so selfish. He's been driving me up the wall. You can't just give him your Switch or something? Grammy-esque will be hearing about this. Seriously, I'm so tired of your generation being so selfish. I'm tired of him whining he's bored. I need a coffee and a nap, and I can't even get that. She droned on for probably a good 5 minutes before I hung up. She's left me with 5 voicemails, but I just don't want to even bother listening to them as I already feel my last brain cells dying. I'm really curious how is that OP giving something of his is a joint present. I guess because this was her idea? That's how the complex mind of entitled parents work, I believe. On to the second story written by wSlash CTG Reddit. EP calls the cop because I am in my garden. Cast Karen. Lol. Entitled parent. F1 friend 1. F2 friend 2. B younger brother. So a while ago, our family had a few friends over for a barbecue. I was 12 at this time, so I was happy that their children, F1 and F2, were the same age as B and me. We have a pretty big garden, so we played tag, hide and seek, etc. Eventually, we start throwing water balloons and play with any water we can find. Naturally, we are screaming and shouting because we're having fun, not because of the hypothermia. We play for a short time until we hear Karen shouting from the hedge. Karen, shut the duck up! We laugh about it but take no further notice. We just assume they aren't talking to us. We continue playing until we hear them yell again. Karen, shut the duck up and go home. We didn't know what to do, so we asked our parents. They said it's our garden, so we should be allowed to do whatever we want, right? Anyway, Karen continues to yell some things I would rather not type, but it was along the lines of, shut up! I'm playing a card game with my kid. We understood that they want some peace and quiet, so we play quieter. Another minute, we hear Karen yelled again. Karen, I'm calling the cops. At this point, our parents heard and went over to pay them a little visit. After a few minutes of procrastination, our beloved Karen did call the cops, who were incredibly helpful and just said the same thing. Their garden, their rules. TLDR, neighbor/entitled mom calls cops because we make noise in our backyard. The train of thoughts inside Karen's head probably went like this. How dare you have fun on your own property? The absolute nerve of some people. I'm calling the cops because you irritated me. On to the final story shared by wSlash HICCTL. Mom's new boyfriend starts acting as if he would be my dad, and at first made her back him through smart lies till he overplayed his hand big time. Satisfying karma at the end. Let me first give you some background so you get here people are coming from. My father has left a few years prior. Mom bought a small house from the money from the divorce, and a few months before has gotten herself a boyfriend. At first, I was really happy that she has moved on, but soon I realized she has fallen for some real piece of crap. Now, you need to understand, my father was an alcoholic and a narcissist, so my mom's normal meter was truly broken. Anybody treating her halfway decent must have appeared like a prince charming to her. So please do not judge her too harshly for a choice. I don't. Now, he was not only halfway decent, he really treated her well. So he was a butthole to me, brought her flowers regularly, etc. But from what I've realized, and she did not, that he was a parasite. He had maybe like $100 to his name, and his only income is the support from the state, a couple $100. Now, I already hear you ask, how did he afford flowers and going out? By living rent-free and have all the costs paid for till he gets back on his feet. One last thing, as the headline already told you, he soon started to show an immense entitlement towards me. Basically, he said this is his house, so I now have to follow his rules. Of course I told him this is my mom's house, not his, and I do not have to do jack crap unless mom tells me so. He took that really badly, since he had an ego problem, as you probably already guessed. I tried to tell my mom, but she would not believe me, since she always acted nice to me when she was around, but as soon as she was not there, the Cold War started. He pulled a lot of small crap, like demanding in a patronizing voice I bring him some beer while watching TV with me when my mom was on the loo. When she came back, he told her he had asked me nicely to bring him a beer. When I stood up to get something but I refused, insulted him and sat back down. So of course she told me to apologize and get him beer. I tried to explain but she would not let me. So he kept pulling pretty bullcrap to establish dominance. After this whole story, I asked my mom why she would always believe him and not let me explain. Apparently he had told her that I was super jealous he was in the house and wanted to get rid of him by trying to make him look bad. So she backed him to show me he's not going anywhere. Time for the main act. I had gone out for the night from Friday to Saturday and had come back at 3 a.m. My mom was gone over the weekend and he ducking exploded. How dare I disrespect him like that coming at home this late? I told him calmly he does not get to declare as a curfew for me, and my mom allows me coming home this late. Which is true, provided that I stayed at the house of 3 specific people I'm friend with and whose parents are my mom's friends. He flipped out even more and called me a dirty liar. He then gave me the classic, "As long as you put my legs under this table." And me being a smart boy, of course I answered, "This is my mom and my house. You are a guest here." He screamed at me. He's gonna kick me out of the house and I will not be allowed back till my mom's return. I screamed back. He cannot do that. This is not his house. I threatened to call my mom. He, emboldened by her backing up all the time, told me to just do that. But I better not lie to her and tell her what is actually happening. I put on a speaker and told her, "He's trying to kick me out of the house till you come back, Monday." It was Saturday. She did not believe me and told me to put him on the line. So he started by telling her that I disrespected him as the man of the house by coming home so late and lying to him about this as being okay when I stayed at a friend's house and that I need to learn to respect him. So it is up to him how he disciplines me since she's not there. Then he lied and said he told me not to be home by 1 a.m. For the first time, he let his mask slip and she picked up on it right away. Her. So let me get this straight. I allow my son to be out till 3, but you think you can get to overrule my decision on my son, and now you think you get to kick my son out of his house? He realized he screwed up. He tried to get her to take his side, but only dug his hole deeper. Him. "Well, he keeps not respecting me in my own house. If you let him win now, he will never respect me." Her. "And you think the right punishment for disrespect is to kick him out for 2 days?" Him. "Yes, finally you get it. I knew you would come around." Her. "Well, he did nothing wrong, since he was allowed to go out that long. You have no right just to overrule my decision on my son. Him. But... Her. I'm not done. Apparently you think the right punishment for your disrespect is to kick you out till Monday. Him. But I only have $100. This is not fair. Where am I supposed to go? Her. I'm sure my son had even less money and you did not give a crap. You got 30 minutes to leave. I'll tell the neighbor to check. If you're still here in half an hour, he will call the police and have you trespass. When I come home Monday, we will talk. I'm such an idiot that I kept believing you over my son. Once mom came home, I told her how he kept pulling this bullcrap on me, and she was so sorry she kept backing him up. I had tried to tell her many times he treated me exactly my father did when she was not around, one major reason for their divorce. But since he treated her so differently and acted so differently than my father, she believed him, and that I was jealous and tried to get rid of him. So she finally saw through him and got all the evidences she needed, and I was telling the truth all along. They broke up at that Monday. He never even got back into the house. They met for coffee, and she demanded her keys back. Originally, she wanted to give him a month, but when she entered the bar they met at, he right away started to scream at her. How dare she kick him out of the house like this, and that how he will never get the respect for me, which is what he's entitled to. She told him she's only here to ask for her keys back and that they are through. Pro tip for this parasite, no one is entitled to respect. It's only given when it's earned. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dank Doggo appreciates your time. If you enjoy our content and want to see more of us, stay tuned and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button and ring the bell, or Doggo will cry. Also, you can always tell us your friendly neighbor Doggo, your experiences in the comment section. I'll catch up with you guys later in the next video.